And hello, everyone. It's Tom. It's FANzine Live, and we are doing the crowdfunded zines, or I guess in this case, comics video. This is an interesting one because I am going to try to do my best to share with you some work done by a very creative man named Karl Kesel. He and David Hahn have done a series called Impossible Jones, and he is crowdfunding this thing and doing a wonderful job with it. This is superhero stuff. Superhero stuff in the sense of what I would consider pre-Image Comics superheroes. In fact, Karl Kesel's name probably could ring a bell for some of you, because for those of you who remember back in the day, there was John Byrne and, of course, Marv Wolfman and Jerry Ordway did the Superman reboot back in the 80s after Crisis on Infinite Earths. And initially, DC had Dick Giordano doing the Man of Steel series, the miniseries, the reboot miniseries, and did a wonderful job. I mean, Giordano's work is fantastic. And so he, and I'm presuming his little studio of assistants, worked on the first miniseries. But then you've got to go on to the next series. Okay, so that's book 6. Excuse me. There we go. Okay, now we're on to the first issue of the new series, Superman, January 87. John Byrne, inked by Terry Austin. So you can see a nice Dick Giordano inking job. Really does a nice job over Byrne. And then you can see a very nice Terry Austin from the old X-Men fame, inking his longtime compadre, John Byrne. Nice looking stuff. But the Terry Austin run with John Byrne didn't last very long. It lasted 3 issues. And so in the 4th issue of Superman, April 87, who comes on board as an inker but Karl Kesel? And Karl did, in my mind, a fantastic job inking Byrne on Superman. And so that's where I remember him from, and I really enjoyed that. So what we have here now with Impossible Jones. Oh, and I also should say, I'm sure Karl Kesel has had a much longer bibliography, but my other big experience with his work would be the DC Hawk and Dove miniseries, notable for Rob Liefeld's kind of coming out party as a professional artist. Kesel was the writer on that. And so he was very involved in it and was part of the team that was trying to get Liefeld to play along. But that's back in the 80s. Now we're in the 2020s, and Kesel has gone the route of self-publishing. He's got this character here named Impossible Jones. And Impossible Jones is actually part of a much larger universe. I will tell you, these books are fantastic. As you can see, they've got some bookmark ribbons. These are hardcovers. I mean, you know, this is top drawer stuff. I think they call this spot gloss. So the character of Impossible Jones has a little bit of a shiny texture to it, as does the logo. Yeah, this is top drawer stuff. The first thing I notice about Impossible Jones is the coloring is basically what I think they call these days flat coloring. There's a little bit of shading, like with backgrounds and stuff like that. But largely, it's old school spot coloring. You could have just as easily printed this book on newsprint back in the 80s as you could do on gorgeous paper in this hardback book. So Kesel's got this character, and we've already kind of blown through the origin story, but I'll just show you. The character here is a thief, and as a thief, she's going to steal stuff, and she gets caught in this booth and basically gets stabbed a la Dr. Manhattan and so many other characters. And she reconstitutes, as you can see, and you notice there are heroes, all sorts of people, some who just don't quite look right, more heroes. And you've got all of these people. Oh, you've got this guy. And Impossible Jones shows up, and you can see she's kind of got a elastic man or a plastic man, Mr. Fantastic type thing going on. She's a fantastic character in her own right. And you can see she's reconstituting her arm to be a bit of a club there. It's really well written stuff. I mean, this is professionally written material over many, many pages. This first book is 145 pages, and then some extra stuff thrown in the back. David Hahn is the penciler. Kesel is the inker. This stuff is as clean as the day is long. It's wonderful. You got a character named Polecat. You got a character named Captain Lightning. You've got Holly Days here. It's just really, really impressive. Yeah, Holly Days is kind of a spoof on Harley Quinn. But you can see it is just gorgeous stuff. And I really wanted to just show that off. Then, and there's more to it than that, but what I'm trying to show you is he's got this entire universe that he set up. And Impossible Jones is clearly the lead character, but she is by no means the only character in this universe, and she's got so much happening. You can see had some spiffs that came out of the crowdfunding. So this was the most recent crowdfunding that they have done, that Kesel did, and this came fairly recently. And this is I would strongly suggest get the first book if you can. Then this is the second book, which is nothing more than a kind of linked storyline between different team-ups. The first one, of course, being Impossible Jones and Holly Days. And then I believe the next one is Impossible Jones and Captain Lightning. And these are fun reads. I wouldn't say they are written for... Okay, the third one. Oh, this is the bad guy, Krampus, who is kind of the quasi-romantic interest for Holly Days. And this is Polecat. But anyway, what I was going to say was he does such a wonderful job telling stories. He does such a wonderful job tying this whole thing together. There's another character named Persephone, which I can't find. You can see Krampus is busy there. Persephone is later. This is Even Steven. Even Steven is clearly a take on Mr. A from Steve Ditko, or The Question, or one of those types of guys. And his idea is that we should have a fair fight. There's Persephone. But Even Steven's idea of a fair fight is that his power level in fighting the bad guy, I believe that's the American Angel or something like that, that you should have a fair fight, and therefore his skill level and his power level match that of his opponent. And it's pretty cool. So it is a fun series. Art is gorgeous. The spiffs in the back are great. The extra pages. You've got alternate covers. I mean, Bill Sienkiewicz did one. Stuart Immonen did one. I mean, Terry Moore did this one. Adam Hughes did this one. Karl Kesel knows a lot of people, and you can tell. And he's had fun. Yeah, there's Angel. U.S. Angel, that's what it's called. Neat stuff. So if you're into superhero books, if you are perhaps not as thrilled with the more modern takes on superhero books, let me suggest that you get your hands on Impossible Jones. In addition, there is the first few issues of Impossible Jones were published by Scout Comics. Now, this, of course, is not crowdfunded, but you can get a hold of it, and it's a really good trade, and probably not that much. It says $20 here. Little smaller. I mean, this is a full comic size. So we're looking at really like a deluxe size for these books. If you can afford them, go with these. If you can't, go with this. They are great books and a lot of fun. So, Impossible Jones. Go out and get it. Also, keep an eye on Karl Kesel on Kickstarter. He is always getting ready to do the next crowdfunded edition, which he then collects into these big books. So you can see some of this stuff in smaller bite-sized pieces that way as well. Really good stuff. Great art, great storytelling, a lot of fun comics. Can't recommend it enough. So Impossible Jones by Karl Kesel, David Hahn, and so forth. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you get a chance to get your hands on some Impossible Jones. And I wish you a great day. I will catch you next time.